SMB, as most of my friends call me Jessica. So I've been wanting to do a video on my journey with breast cancer for a long time now. So it's come to that time. I thought, you know what, let me throw out some information. Loads of people asked me information and stuff, and I thought, let me do a little video so I could put some information out there, help other young people going through it, because I went through it when I was 23, help other people out, and then also, if there's any questions, you can put it down below, and I can answer them directly, or I might do another video, you never know. It's my first video, so let's see how it goes. So let's get into it. So I got diagnosed when I was 23. I got diagnosed with breast cancer, grade 3, hormone active, and it was all a blur. So when I first got diagnosed, I was 23, as I said, but how did it all start? It's going back. So it all started with a lump. I had a lump in my breast, and I had the lump from when I was about 18, 19, I believe. And I even went to the GP, they referred me to the breast clinic, went to the breast clinic, spoke about it, and they said to me, I shouldn't worry about it, I'm young, my mum died of breast cancer. So, I was a little bit concerned, I've got a lump in my breast. So they were like, oh, don't worry about it, you're young, there's nothing to worry about. So I left it. So that's like 1918. 3-4 years on, when I was with my ex-boyfriend, really good guy, and we were chilling, having a good old time, and then he's like, oh, your lump's getting a bit bigger. And I was like, do you think? He's like, yeah. So we're both there feeling it up. And then he's like, oh, you should go and check it out. I was like, all right, cool. So I booked an appointment, went to the GP, did the routine. They were like, we're going to refer you back to the breast clinic. I said, all right, cool, that's fine. Didn't think nothing of it. Went to the breast clinic. This is probably at the ending of March 2013. I went to the breast clinic with my ex-boyfriend, but he was parking the car, so I went in by myself to the appointment, and we had a little chat. The doctor felt the breast, felt the lump, and then he was like, oh, do you know what, let's do a biopsy. But the biopsy was an option, so I didn't have to take the biopsy. So he was like, so the biopsy is a needle which they inject into your breast, which takes out a sample so they can test it to see if there's any cancer cells in it. So they said to me, we can do a biopsy today, would you like to do it? So I'm thinking, a needle to the breast? Hell no. So I didn't want to do it. So I called my ex-boyfriend, I'm like, what do you think? Because he was parking the car, so he wasn't in the appointment. So I was like, oh, they said they want to do a biopsy. I'm not really feeling it. I don't really want an injection to the breast. They said it's going to bruise a bit. I'm not really feeling that. I'm good, so let's just leave it. He was like, oh no, we're here already, so just do it. So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. It hurt, by the way, so they did it. It's quick, it's like literally bang, and then that's it. So they did it. The lady was like, oh, do you know what? It's probably a cyst. We'll get back to you in like a few days. We'll call you with your results. And that was it, really. Gave them my number, and that was it. Off I went. And then it was literally, I think it was like 3 days later. 3 days later, I got the call. So, the hospital was called. I think it was a doctor. He was like, oh yeah, how are you, whatever. I'm like, I'm fine. And then he's like, oh, we would like you to come back with someone. And I'm like, come back with someone? I thought you said you'll be able to give me my results over the phone. He was like, oh no, we need you to come back and bring someone with you. So I was like, okay. So I called my dad, and I was like, Dad, I think I've got cancer, because they said I need to come back with someone. He's like, don't be silly. I was like, all right, well, we've got to go back in like a week or so. So he's like, all right, no problem. So that's how that started. That's how I found out. So then we went in with my dad and my stepmom. Went into the appointment, and I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't think they were going to say what they said. So we were just chilling, sitting there, going through the process. He's talking to me, asking me how I am, and so on and so forth. Then he's like, so your results? I'm like, yeah, the results. And he's like, oh, your results came back positive. So I'm thinking, positive, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, it came back positive. You've got cancer cells, you've got grade 3, hormone active cancer, breast cancer. So I'm thinking, grade 3, cancer, breast cancer, wow, okay. But at the same time, just a little bit of history, my mum died of breast cancer, and I've never really done any research into cancer and stuff like that. I've just mum died of it and just got on with life, never really looked too much into it. I haven't necessarily had a conversation, I have now, but then I didn't necessarily have a conversation with my dad about, how my mum's process was, or what she had, or what grade she had, and what was actually going on. So I didn't really know much about cancer. All I knew was, my mum died of breast cancer. So that was that. So when he said it, I think my mind just went blank. I was just thinking, okay, I've got cancer, great. I think what broke my heart then was my dad's reaction, because my dad started crying. Then I was thinking, oh shit, like that made me upset. And I was like, oh my God, like this must be serious. So my dad started crying, my stepmom started crying. I'm just thinking, like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what's gonna happen next? And the doctor was just explaining, like, we're gonna have to do an operation, take out the tumour. The tumours, I think it was 33 centimetres or something. So we're gonna take out the tumour. So I'm thinking, an operation. I'm like, are you gonna take my tits off? Like, what's gonna happen? He was like, hopefully we should just be able to take the tumour out and take some tissue out your breast. So you can probably see one breast is smaller than the other one. But hey ho, life goes on. So I was like, all right, cool. So we're gonna have an operation. That was fine. I was okay with that. Then they also said that after the operation, we're gonna look at you having chemo and having radiotherapy. And I was just thinking, wow, okay. But at the same time, I wasn't really processing the steps. So I was like, all right, cool. They gave me a booklet and said, there's a few numbers, Macmillan, if you want to call them, if you need someone to speak to, and so on and so forth. So that was that. We went home. My dad started telling the family. I told a few of my friends, and then the process started, I guess. So I was 23, diagnosed with breast cancer, grade 3. Some of you don't know, there's 4 grades, and there's grade 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4's the highest. So I was grade 3, 23. Just in uni. I'm just thinking, like, I'm working. I'm like, right. So like, it looks like everything's on a shutdown now. So this is April. So I've been diagnosed now, and then they sent an appointment for the operation literally 2 weeks after. So I think my appointment was like the first week of May. So I came in, was there for like the whole day. You're not meant to eat when you have an operation. So I didn't eat, went in for the whole day, was there with my dad, my mum, my best friend Sarah was there as well. We all went to the hospital, and then was waiting for ages firstly. And they're like, yeah, we're gonna do the operation. So we're in the room, they're like, oh, you gotta get dressed and so on and so forth, put the robe on and everything. So we did all of that, chilling, had my nipple pierced then, so my mum's in the room, and then they're like, oh, if you've got any piercings, take it out. So I'm just thinking, when's this, my mum's gonna get out of the room, I'll take out the nipple piercings. She's sitting there like, yeah, any piercings? I'm thinking, like, I ain't got no piercings. Anyway, the doctor's like, are you ready? I'm like, no, because I'm thinking I've got to take out the nipple piercing. So I'm like, gosh, we've got to take it out here. My mum's like, Jesus, what is this? I'm just like, you're not meant to be in here. But that was hilarious. Anyway, took out the nipple piercing, did the operation. So they literally, I was in the operation longer than what I was actually meant to be in there for. I was only meant to be in there, I think it was meant to be like 3 hours. But I think I was in there for about 4 or 5. My cousin John came down as well, which was really nice. My friend Sarah was still there when I woke up. My mum was still there. My dad was still there when I woke up, which was amazing. So I had the operation. So when I came out, they took the tumour tissue out, and they also took my lymph nodes out on my left arm. So the lymph nodes are the cells underneath your armpit, which helps your white blood cells. So they took my lymph nodes out. So when you get your lymph nodes taken out your armpits, should I say, you can't have no blood tests on that arm no more. So now with my left arm, I can't have no blood tests there and things like that. I think there's more to it, but we're doing a video, so I'm keeping it short and sweet. But so they took out some lymph nodes as well, which they thought was infected whilst they were doing the operation, but it actually wasn't. So they took some lymph nodes out, took the tumour out. So that was that. The operation was done. I think I had stitches as well, so I've got like a scar underneath my breast and a line in my armpit. I'll put a picture up so I can show you what it looks like. It's smaller now, but it was a little bit bigger, so it's shrunk now, so it's smaller. So I'll put a picture up and show you guys. So that was that. Did the operation, and obviously had the healing process. So I think I was turning 24 in like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something. So I was like, do you know what? I want to do a cancer, the Race for Life. Me and my friends are like, oh, do you know what? Let's do the Race for Life. I think it was me, my friend Nicola, Thelma, Julia, Anas, Sarah. We all did the race, and Jessica. We all did the Race for Life and raised money. So I had a birthday party. It was a fundraising as well. So we raised money. Everyone came, and we did the Race for Life as well. This is all in the midst of me dealing with the cancer stuff. So I would say me dealing with it it didn't really feel real because I had good support around me, which was a bonus. So had an operation, so that was that, had the fundraiser, that was that, and then went back to the hospital once I was healed. So by this time now I've stopped going work, I've stopped going uni, I'm basically a homebody now. So I'm at home, even got myself a little dog, her name's Hayes, she's amazing. Annoying now, but she's amazing. So I got myself a little dog, I'm at home, had to redo the whole house because obviously I was gonna go undergo chemo. And obviously, most of you, or those that don't know, chemo, when you undergo chemo, your immune system's very weak, so you can get sick from bacteria and stuff because your body can't fight bacteria because they're cleansing you, they're taking all the good and the bad out, and then your cells are building up again. So before I went through chemo, my dad had to redo the whole house, redid my whole room, ripped out the carpet, repainted the walls, broke down the bed, got a new bed sheets, everything new. My dad and Sarah actually put up my bed, and I was actually staying at my auntie's house around the corner, Auntie Nish, and she was amazing. So we stayed up there. I stayed there for a few days whilst I did my room. My room was done, that was that. Then went back to the hospital, and they were like, oh, you're healing good, everything's looking good, and we want you to start chemo. So I'm thinking, chemo? Like, what is chemo now? If I'm honest, I didn't do no research, I didn't find out no information. I was just like, alright, cool, the next step is chemo. I'm 24 now. I'm like, alright, cool, chemo now. This is like August time, so I think my first session was August the 1st. So before this was like July when they were like, oh, we want you to start chemo ASAP. I wanted to go to Amsterdam, have one little trip, it's a fun little trip, just before, I know it's going to be a downtime coming. I don't know how long I'm going to be down for. Let me have a little fun. So I went to Amsterdam I think it was for like a few days, went to Amsterdam for a few days, enjoyed, obviously, came back and it was like, right, let's do chemo. So my first chemo appointment was August the 1st. If I'm correct, yeah, it was August the 1st. My first chemo appointment was, I think I went with my dad, my friend Sarah, and I think my ex-boyfriend attended as well actually, and my auntie Nesh, we all went. So we went chemo, they do a blood test first to just check that, your blood cells are good and you're not low on blood cells, because if you're low on blood cells, you can't do the chemo because you're going to be too weak. So they did the test, that was that, and then chemo started. So like you sit in a chair, it's like a room basically, it's a normal room unit, sit in a chair, they like put the, I don't know what it's called, the drip in, so you get like fed steroids through the drip, and the chemo as well through the drip. And so I sat down, I still didn't know what to expect. They plugged me all in and everything, and then I had a breakdown. So I was just like, wow, like this is actually serious, like I'm having chemo. And I was in a room full of like elderly people, so it just didn't feel natural, it didn't feel real. But I think at that moment, that's when it started kicking in, like, girl, like you've got cancer, like it can go either way. Like we don't know whether you're gonna beat it, we don't know whether it's gonna be okay. But I wasn't necessarily thinking about that. I was more or less thinking like, right, like this is a bit much. So I was in a room with like some other people, like elderly people, and that's the first time I had a breakdown since I got diagnosed with cancer. So I got diagnosed in August, didn't have a break, still got on with life, doing what I was doing. When it came to chemo, I think that's when I first started feeling like, oh my God, like this is real. And I had a breakdown, and then they put me in a separate room by then, so my family and friends could sit in the room with me. So you had chemo, so you just basically sit down in a chair and you get the drip. But the drip's like, it can take about an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending. And sometimes if they put the drip too fast, you start itching because of the steroids. Then they have to dilute it with water. There's a lot. Then you've also got to go home and have like injections, inject yourself with steroids every day. It's a nightmare. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. But it's life. You go through it and you buck up your strength, stay positive, and you get on with it. So that's what I did. I think I did chemo from August till December. So my first chemo session was fine. I didn't really feel much. I was all right. I was still okay within myself. So I came home. I stayed at my Auntie Nej's house because my room was still getting done by my dad and Sarah. Stayed with Auntie Nej. She was amazing. She looked after me, helped me out, cleaned me. Because after chemo, you're on a high, and then you literally just go down. So zero, no energy, no don't know how to explain, no energy, no motivation, you don't want to do nothing, you don't want to eat, you're weak. That's when my body now started transitioning, going through the treatment. So the first chemo was all right. I think when it got to the second chemo session, I think that's when I started seeing the changes. So when I was going through my first session of chemo, my ex-boyfriend and I cut my hair. So we just got scissors, put it up in a bun, and then we just chopped it off. So I had like a little bob or something. Not even a bob, I think it was even shorter than that. But we cut my hair, so that was that. So I was just thinking, I don't want it to fall out, so let's just cut it. So we cut it, that was that. Went to the second session of chemo, done chemo again. That's when the side effects were a little bit different now. That's when like I used to wear, back in the day when I used to wear U-part wigs. So I used to wear U-part wigs, and I think one day I came home, I think I went out, came home, and I unclipped the U-part wig from my head, and then I had hair in the clips, and I was like, wow, like, I was freaking out, but at the same time I wasn't freaking out. I was just like, oh, like, it's starting now, like, the cancer is starting now, the hair is falling out, like, this is crazy. So I just put the wig aside, and I was just like, right, I'm definitely not wearing that again. You're gonna have to stay looking like this, no more glam, this is what it is. So that was that. I think when it got to the third chemo session, that's when my hair started falling out, like in bed, like you'll just see a bunch of hair and stuff. And one day I woke up and my head was on fire. Like my head was literally hurting. Like the fact that I had hair on my head was so painful. So I was just like to my friend Mashid, I was like, do you know what? I want to cut my hair. I think I was outside having a moment. I think I was upset or something. And she was like, what's wrong? I was like, my head's on fire. She's like, do you know what? Let's go to the barbers now and let's cut your hair. So we went to the barbers, shaved it all off. I put a picture up. I was even smiling after. But when they were cutting it, I had 1-2 tears came down because I was like, shit. Girl's gone bald, looking like a man. But hey ho, kind of a little cute face, you know. I looked cute. I'll show you guys. I wasn't too bad. It was alright. So I did that, cut my hair. That was that, and then that's when I started losing my hair. I lost hair everywhere. Arms, body, legs, hair everywhere, head and eyebrows. I would say the most traumatic thing for me was losing my eyebrows. I thought it was going to be the hair, but it wasn't the hair, it was the eyebrows. Because then like I was bald and I also had no eyebrows. So just imagine that look. For me, I felt like I looked like an alien. Probably didn't, but you know, I personally thought I looked like an alien. Bearing in mind, back in the day, I wasn't really too into makeup or anything like that. So it's not like I knew how to draw my eyebrows like that. You know, so it was kind of like, oh my God, like what is going on here? So I started learning how to do my eyebrows. So, you know, had to freestyle draw eyebrows where I thought it's meant to be. So I started drawing my eyebrows on. My friend Christabel, she's big now, she does wigs and everything. She came through and she made me a wig. So that was my first wig. Christabel made me my first wig. And, you know, that's what I wore from my journey. And I just got on with it. What I would say is, in regards to what kept me going, was my friends. You know, my friends are very supportive of me. Every time I had chemo, Sarah, my cousin Julia will go out. We will go cinema. We'll stay out till like 8 a.m. in the morning. Bearing in mind, chemo's at 9, 10. We were outside till 8 a.m. So I'll be coming home, getting in the bath. Sarah will go home, little Sarah will go home, get in the bath, and we'll meet back at the hospital for chemo. But as much as it's a bit crazy as it sounds, like I'm sick but I'm still doing stuff, I had to do it because that's the only way I kept sane. Because bearing in mind, everyone's at work or at uni, everyone's living their life. So my life stopped. I'm at home 24/7. So the little time that I did get, I wouldn't say little time because my friends are with me all the time. Whether I was sick, they'll be in bed with me, right beside me. And we'll all be, it's like we were all going through it, especially little Sarah. I don't know how she went through it, because now when I see other people sick and stuff within my family or friends, I'm like heartbroken. So I can only imagine what that was like for my family, my dad. I can understand why he probably had the breakdown, because it's kind of hard. My little brother, it's kind of hard seeing someone you love go through it. And another thing that came with the chemo treatment was bone aches. Like my bones felt very tender. I don't know how to explain it. I just couldn't. Every time it was cold, it was like, oh my God, like I am freezing, my bones are shaking. I think I went with my friend Sarah to go and do her hair. And I was there shivering because I'm like, I'm cold, but I don't think I was actually cold. I just think my bones were so tender. that when I got home, I had like a breakdown, ambulance had to come. This is when I'm going through chemo, ambulance had to come. I thought I was gonna die. I was just like, shit, like, this is actually crazy. And I ended up staying in hospital for a few days. You don't wanna go to hospital because once you're in the hospital, you're stuck there. So if you can stay at home and be safe and have the medication, what I should have really done was call the hospital, the out of hours number, and ask what medication I can take to push me through the night. But obviously that was the beginning of chemo, so I didn't really know what I can and can't take. So I ended up in hospital, was in hospital for about a week or two, dealing with it. Then eventually I got to go home. So that was that. And I think throughout the process when I was having chemo, when that kind of scenario happened again, I was with my friends Sarah, and they were able to call the hospital, and like you literally have like a packs of medication. I had that with me, carried it around with me when I went around. I think I went to little Sarah's house that day, and she was able to call the out of hours number, and then they told her what medication I should take. Took those medications, and girl, I passed out. And that was that, but it was the same kind of feelings when I went to the hospital. I was thinking, I do not want to go to the hospital. I repeat, I do not want to go to the hospital. I was telling my friends, like, I'm not going to the hospital. So whatever it is that I need to do, let's do that. So, you know, they phoned up, got the medication, they gave it to me. Sarah's bed is very comfortable. She tucks me in and I was comfortable. I passed that was that. Woke up and then I was feeling myself, I was okay. So with chemo, I would say, it's like, for me, it was every 3 weeks. So it's like the first 2 weeks, once that you've had chemo, you're like low, you can't eat, you can't taste anything, you lose weight, and you put on weight because you're on the steroids injections like every day. I think also my cousin Gaia was like to me, you know, have you thought about natural ways to like dealing with like your cancer? And I was like, no, because I didn't really know much about cancer, and I didn't really know much about, for example, Dr. Sebi, being an alkaline vegan. I didn't know much about those kind of stuff as well. But bearing in mind, as I'm going through this, my ex-boyfriend, he's an alkaline vegan now, so he was into all of those things. So he'll be like, oh, do you know what? You need to stop eating meat. You need to start doing this. You need to slow down on certain things. So I started transitioning slowly as well throughout my process. So eventually, throughout the cancer period, like my little journey, I did stop eating meat and I became a vegan. So that helped me as well. I felt a big difference in my body, made me feel a bit more energetic. I'm not saying that once I had chemo I was a-okay, because I was still down, but it helped. I would say it helped me. So you definitely do need to have a clean diet and also have good people around you. Stay positive. I know it's hard when you don't know what's going to happen, because I didn't know what was going to happen, but for me, I didn't really dwell on the what's going to happen. It was just kind of like, let's deal with today and then we'll deal with tomorrow. I'm not going to say that I didn't have breakdowns, because I did have breakdowns, and I was like, do you know what? I'm not going to chemo tomorrow. I remember I had a breakdown, I think it was my brother and my dad, and I was like, I'm not going chemo tomorrow. I've had enough, like, I'm good. Like, whatever it is, this is what it is. I'm not going again. And, you know, they were like negotiating with me. My brother, I could see the pain in my brother's eyes, and he was just like, come on, Jess, man, you've got this, we're here, we've got you. And you know, it helped, it did help. And obviously I did finish my chemo treatment. One thing I would say, tips. Girls, do not have fake nails when you're going through chemo. I had fake nails on, but they said have dark colours, because your nails change, you know? Those pictures of those uncles that have dry toenails and dry feet. My feet look like that. Yeah? My feet look like very dry. Like, I hadn't creamed it. My feet were dry, black, like the colour changed, and I had fake nails on, bearing in mind. So one day I was driving, I don't know where I was going, but I was driving. I was a busybody when I was going through chemo. I was sick, but when I felt good, I was outside. I'll tell you that. Maybe not around people, but I was definitely outside, getting fresh air. I wasn't in the house. So one day I was driving and I was going through chemo and had fake nails on, and then that blood started dripping on the steering wheel and on my legs, and I was just thinking, like, where am I bleeding from? Looking at my nose, looking in the mirror, thinking, I'm not bleeding from anywhere. Looking everywhere, like, where am I bleeding from? It was my nails. The beds of my nails had popped. So if you've got fake nails and you're going through chemo, obviously everyone's side effects is different. Maybe try not have no nails. Definitely put dark nail varnish on your fingers because your nails do change colour, but I would advise no nails. The beds of my nails popped, so if you can imagine, you could see inside underneath the nail. It was horrific. It was so traumatic. It was horrific. I don't know how to explain the emotions I was going through. I was panicking, driving on the motorway, like, damn, what is going on? But we got through it. I went to Crown's Nails in Palmer's Green, and they kindly took it off and, like, you know, painted my nails again. But it was horrific. It was not nice. And also, I would say my eyebrows, losing my eyebrows weren't nice as well. I think that was the one thing that made me upset and made me rethink, like, oh my God, like, I think that's when it became real. When I lost my eyebrows, that's when it became real. And that's when I started learning how to do my eyebrows, and that's where the passion for eyebrows came from, I would say. So anyway, after chemo happened, I lost my hair, lost my eyebrows, lost weight, put on weight, went through the process. Once that was done and I had my last session, I was like, thank God. No more chemo, because I feel like that's the worst bit of it all. And I had radiotherapy. So radiotherapy is when you go under these big like X-rays thing, and they like tattoo like the middle of my chest and the left side. So they like beam the radiation on one side of your, well, I had it on my left side, so they beamed the radiation on my left breast, and I would say like my breast went black. So it was like a totally different colour. It wasn't the same colour as my other breast. It was literally black, but they did that because they have to do the radiation to shrink the tumour. I had to shrink the tumour. So I went through trauma though. But they had to shrink the tumour, so I had radiation. They did that, and I think I do have a picture. I'll put it up so you can kind of see. You might not be able to see properly. To be honest, I didn't really take much pictures when I was going through it. I've asked all my friends, like, have you got any pictures of like us back in 2013? And everyone's like, no, I've got a few. I'll put a few up. I've got a few. Don't laugh. I've got a few. I've got a few, so I'll put them up. And I'll put up the radiation, what radiation did to my breast, and it shrinks the tumour. So I had radiation for about a month or two, and then it came to an end about March 2014, my treatment finished. And when it stopped, it was kind of like, I think that's when my trauma started, because it was like, wow, you've just been through so much, and then now it's just finished. Obviously, I was on medication. I was on tamoxifen for 5 years. I've just come off it. I was on I've just come off it. I was on tamoxifen for 5 years, which is like a hormone suppressant medication that you take for the cancer stuff. So I was on that for 5 years, and yeah, so that's basically a bit of what I went through. And some people might be aware that I did a GoFundMe page, and majority of my friends, family all contributed money, and I went to Honduras to Dr. Sebi's camp in Aisha village, which was amazing. I'm gonna go again. I'm due to go again with my friends. It was amazing. I will do another video on it because I do have some clips that I took when I was there. I did get to meet Dr. Sebi. It was an amazing trip. For example, I'll just give you one example. I got told, because like when I had my operation, my tumour, so in my breast it still felt like you can feel the tumour in the breast, like the scar tissue, you can still feel it, and it feels like a lump. So I was like to the doctors, like, is that not gonna go, or is that just what the breast is just gonna feel hard now? And they were like, yeah, it's just gonna feel, it's just gonna be like that from now. And I was just thinking, how can scar tissue not heal? So anyway, when I went to Honduras, yeah, you get to soak yourself in the water. You know the pH level over there is lit, high, and it's baking hot. So Dr. Sebi was like, oh, you've got to go into that water every day, like twice a day. So early in the morning before the sun comes up, I would walk down and I'll go into the pool and soak myself in there. And I would say like the scar tissue actually shrunk. I was in Honduras for about 2 weeks, I would say. But I feel like if I was there for a little bit longer, I would have come back and the scar tissue would have been gone completely. When I did go, I was a vegan, so I wasn't eating meat, because you're not going to get meat there. unless you're going out in the village to go and find it somewhere in Honduras. You're not getting meat on that campus. So, you know, it was like watermelons, mushrooms, healthy food, and they cook it. So you have like 2 meals a day. You've got your own little hut. But I'll do another video on that. If you want to ask me questions, ask me down below. But that was a whole nother experience. So anyway, when I finished my cancer treatment, the operation, chemo, radiotherapy, I did go Honduras just to give myself an extra boost, just to make sure that I'm healthy and I'm getting the right herbs, medication. When I say medication, not medication from the hospital, natural medication that can naturally heal me. And I think for me that was a big bonus in my healing and in my process. So today I would say it's been 6 years now, I think. Yeah, 6 years. I'm out of remission, so 6 years. I think it's 6 years this year, and I'm breast cancer free. So they say you have to wait till 5 years to get in remission. So today I'll say I'm breast cancer free, and we hope to God that, you know, touch wood. There's no wood anywhere. The chair's a bit wood. I don't know. Touch wood somewhere. Someone touch wood for me. Yeah. Let me touch wood. Hold on. Touch wood, and that I don't go through that again, and I hope no one else goes through it. But I would say, when I was going through it, there weren't really much people to talk to about. I was 23, 24, diagnosed with cancer. Yes, you can speak to Macmillan, but it wasn't really like, I don't know how to explain. When you speak to someone that's gone through it, it's a different kind of speaking. I said, when you're speaking to someone and they're a therapist on the other line, that didn't really help me. My friend's mum, I did call my friend's mum because she had just gone through her cancer treatment, and that really did help me. Speaking to someone that has gone through it really does help. So, you know, if anyone's going through it, or you've got family members, or you want to ask questions, feel free, ask questions. I'm open to it. I'm finally talking about it, which is a good thing because it's been a few years now and I haven't really spoken about it. I've kind of like just got on with life. Happy girl, see me smiling. You wouldn't even think I've probably gone through such, but I had, and you know, I felt like, you know what, it's time to share my journey, let everyone know what I've been through, and also give out information and tips on how people can, you know, deal with it. And also, you know, there might be some questions people want to ask, so feel free to jot down your questions. I'll try and get back to you. I don't know if I'm going to do another YouTube video, but I just wanted to address this whole cancer stuff. So I've done it, I've put a little bit of information out there. If anyone wants to have a chat, feel free to, you know, put your details down below, email address or whatever, and I'll get in contact. And hopefully I'll do another video. Tips, don't forget your tips. If you're going through the treatment, dark nails, ladies, obviously guys go through it too. I don't have no tips for guys, unfortunately, sorry, because I'm not a guy. But if you've got nails, girl, take those nails off, get your shellac, dark nails, that'll be good. Also, start practicing how to do your eyebrows. Practice how to do your eyebrows. Because I was looking crazy in the beginning because I did not know how to do my eyebrows. That's where my passions come, and now I'm, you know, doing ombre brows, helping other ladies that are going through cancer or whatever. Because back then, if I had known someone could tattoo on my brows, I would have been there. So now, you know, I've got passion for brows. I do ombre brows. I love brows. You know, my brows are looking alright, you know. Don't gas myself up, my eyebrows are looking alright. I'm gonna start posting more as well, because I do brows, but I don't really post. I don't know, I'm not really out there, but I'm gonna start posting more. This is my first YouTube video. Support, repost, ask questions if you want to ask questions. If you see me and you want to ask me something, approach me. I'm friendly, so it's all good. It's all love. And yeah, thank you for watching. And I also want to, oops, sorry. Thank you for watching. I also want to say thank you to all my family and friends that went through the journey with me, that supported me, and that was loving in and throughout the good and the bad. They were there. I love them all, especially my best friend Sarah, my dad, my brother, and the other Sarah, because you guys were definitely there, and Julia, you guys were definitely there, and my cousins, I'm so sorry, my cousins, they were cooking, doing rota cooking, So one auntie will cook, my cousins will cook. They all come down to the house. My Manchester cousins, they all came down as well. So the support was real. I would say have your friends around you, have your family around you, because it makes you forget about what you're going through. People think that, you know, you're going through something, just let you get on with it. That's not the case. You do honestly need your people around you to just make you feel like as normal as it can be, because it's not normal. You're going through something, you can't go outside because you're going to get sick. People coming in, you've got to make sure they wash their hands and they're not sick because they're going to make you sick. It's not normal. So, you know, having your family and friends around you really does help. So that's another tip. Stay positive. Don't think about what shoulda, coulda happened. Whatever's going to happen, it's going to happen. Don't dwell on it. Deal with today. If you're feeling low, deal with today. Don't worry about tomorrow's chemo session, next week's chemo session. Deal with today. That's the best way for me, how I dealt with that. That definitely got me through it. So I want to say thank you for watching. I'll put up some pictures, and hopefully I will do a Honduras video, because loads of people do want to know about Honduras, Dr. Sebi, how it was. It was amazing. I would recommend to go. You don't need to be sick to go, so I would recommend to go. And you know, try doing little stuff to your diet. Sea moss is really good. I think everyone now knows about sea moss. The sea moss is really good for you. So if you can change little things in your diet, that will really help. But even if you're not sick, you can go Honduras. Honduras is I think everyone should at least go once in a lifetime. They should go and visit that place. It's amazing. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll be back.